transition elements. Otherwise, in one of the common oxidation state, they should have partially filled d orbital. So let us discuss example. One important statement is there. All transition elements are d block, but all d block elements are not transition elements. What do you mean by this? 2b group elements, volatile elements, zinc, cadmium, mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal in the periodic table. They have fulfilled configuration. They have NS2, N-1, D10 configuration. According to definition, transition element should have partially filled d orbital. But here they have full filled d orbital, hence we are calling non-transition elements. We are calling non-transition elements. So this is very, very important. Then 1b group elements, copper, silver, gold. Copper, silver, gold we are calling typical transition elements. What is the reason? In their atomic state, they have fulfilled d orbital. So that is the reason we are calling typical transition elements. So next, let us discuss electronic configuration. So before that, d block elements we classified into 3d series, 4d series, 5d series, 6d series. So in the case of d block elements, if you observe very clearly, in 3d series, starting with scandium, ending with zinc. Here we have cadmium, here we have mercury. So here the starting element will be, we have yttrium, we have lanthanum. Here we have actinium. So total 40 elements we have, 40 d block elements we have. In this 3d series, if you observe, we have scandium, we have titanium, we have vanadium, chromium, manganese. So carefully if you observe, atomic number 21 to 25 I wrote, electronic configuration 4s2 3d1. Here we have 4s2 3d2. Here we have 4s2 3d3. Here we have 4s2 3d5. But exception electronic configuration, you can see here 4s1 3d5. This is abnormal electronic configuration we need to remember. Next, remaining elements if you take, iron you take, cobalt you take, nickel you take, copper you take, zinc you take. We have abnormal electronic configuration. In the case of copper, copper is 4s1 3d10. Copper is 4s1 3d10. Minimum you should know this 30 elements electronic configurations. Iron will be 4s2 3d6, cobalt will be 4s2 3d7, nickel will be 4s2 3d8, zinc will be 4s2 3d10. The shortcut I'll say, for example, we have zinc. Zinc means atomic number 30. So zinc means generally we write 4s2 3d10. For example, we have scandium. Scandium is 21. So let us write 4s 3d. So 21 is nothing but 4s2 3d1, like this, 2 1. Like this we can write. So here we have chromium and copper abnormal electronic configurations. So what is the reason? Already we studied, because of half-filled configurations, more exchange energies. Next, let us take second series and third series. As for the new NCERT, you check here, very, very, very important. So we know generally copper, silver, gold. Copper, silver, gold, they have electronic configuration generally NS1, N-1, D10 configuration. NS1, N-1, D10 configuration. But other than that, neodymium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium. Technetium you concentrate, in latest textbook it is given NS1. So in old textbooks it is given NS2. This is very, very important. And here in 3D series, if you observe very clearly, platinum, one thing we have to remember, And very important, generally we have to concentrate one important element, that is a very important palladium. In the case of palladium, you see 4s0 3d10. So there is no s electron. Already we discussed platinum is also going to be, it is not 4s0 beta, it is 5s0, 5s0 4d10. Platinum is going to be 6s1 and 5d9 is the electronic configuration. So these electronic configurations you need to remember. So this is from electronic configuration 3D, 4D, 5D series. So next, metallic character, if you observe, all are typical metals. They have high tensile strength, ductility, malleability, high thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity, and very important, most of the transition elements have CCP structure or HCP structure. Chromium, molybdenum and tungsten have maximum number of unpaired electrons. We are going to discuss that. So therefore these are very hard metals and they have maximum enthalpy of atomization. So many times question is asked based on heat of atomization. Let us concentrate. So everybody listen carefully. So here heat of atomization, let us check. Heat of atomization, if you observe very clearly, highest for vanadium, you check, highest for vanadium. After vanadium we have titanium, least for zinc you take, least for zinc. And manganese also having least. Manganese, zinc least. Manganese least because of half-filled configuration. Zinc least because of full-filled configuration. Vanadium and titanium having highest heat of atomization. So everybody focus here, concentrate here. This order is very important. So vanadium is maximum. Zinc is least because of full-filled electronic configuration. Whereas manganese is also least because of half-filled electronic configuration. Vanadium, titanium, nickel, cobalt, iron, chromium, copper, scandium, manganese, zinc least. This compulsory you practice. This is very important. Then afterwards we are going for atomic radii. Atomic radii generally across the series. Atomic radii, ionic radii decreases. This is due to poor screening effect of n-1d electrons. Generally down the group 3d to 4d, 4d to 5d increases, but increasing will be small here, whereas 5d to 6d decreases. This is because of lanthanide contraction. So beautifully explained in the form of diagram, you can check here. For example, first this one will be 3d series, this one will be 4d series, this one will be 5d series. You see 5d, 4d almost similar in size. So this is because of lanthanide contraction. So you have to remember this. Now let us discuss 3D series. Only 3D series if you take, let us concentrate here. I'll come to this diagram. So 3D series if you take, here if you observe very clearly, from scandium to almost manganese, decreased. Then here if you observe very clearly, iron, cobalt, nickel having same radii. Then here copper to zinc once again increased. You check here, very important. Scandium to manganese if you take, effective nuclear charge will be dominating over screening effect. In the case of iron, cobalt, nickel, the effective nuclear charge and screening effect is the same. Whereas in the case of Copper and zinc screening effect is dominating over effective nuclear charge. So this order is also very, very important. So therefore you see, very, very important, 3D to 4D, 4D to 5D. What happens here? Increasing but small, 5D, 6D almost decreasing. That is the reason zirconium and hafnium. You carefully see zirconium, hafnium, molybdenum, tungsten, neodymium, tantalum having same atomic radii. So this is because of lanthanide contraction. Very, very important. We'll discuss very clearly in F block elements. So moving to the melting point and boiling point. So melting point and boiling point, if you take, so generally melting and boiling point depends upon number of unpaired electrons. So number of unpaired electrons increases, generally melting and boiling points will increases. And here two types of bonds are forming. Metallic bond because of Ns electrons, covalent bond because of N-1d electrons. Very, very important. So let us check this data. We have 3D series, we have 4D series. So 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. Which one has maximum? Which one has minimum? Let us concentrate. Very, very important for competitive examination. So in the case of 3D series, carefully you check ma. So in the case of 3D series, maximum for chromium, here molybdenum, here tungsten. Whereas when you take minimum, so minimum will be generally zinc, cadmium, mercury will be minimum. Otherwise we can take copper, we can take silver, and we can take gold. So copper, silver, gold, we can take copper, silver, gold. So we can take copper, silver, gold. But generally these are not transition elements. That is the reason in this graph they did not mention. So maximum for chromium, minimum for zinc. And if you observe very clearly, the very, very important highest melting point will be for tungsten. Highest for tungsten. So very, very important. Highest for tungsten. Whereas lowest melting point will be mercury. And high boiling point is observed for rhenium. And in the case of, very, very important, in the case of, carefully you listen, in the case of manganese and technetium, there is a decreasing in the melting point, less. From molybdenum to ruthenium, if you observe, technetium, chromium and iron, if you compare, manganese having less melting point. Because, so these two important examples you need to focus from the NCERT textbook. Then afterwards we are going to the very, very important, we are going to discuss ionization potential. Very, very, very important. So atomic radii, ionization potential, both are inversely proportional. So generally, ionization potential, if you observe, this is exception, scandium highest, lanthanum least ionization potential when you consider. But when you take other elements like 4D, 3D and 5D, this is the order of ionization potential. As for the NCERT, the ionization potential will be affected in page number 221. They given 3 factors. Before we have only 2 factors, now 3 factors given. Attraction of electrons, repulsions of electrons, exchange energy, So elements with fulfilled and off-filled configuration having more ionization energy. So if you observe very clearly, so IP1 of chromium and manganese, if you take IP1 of chromium and manganese, so we are removing the electron from 4s. Here electron we are removing from 4s2, 4s1, 4s2. Here s orbital is fully filled. That is the reason the ionization potential of manganese is greater than chromium. Let us check in the tabular form. So we are discussing about ionization potential. So ionization potential of chromium and manganese, if you see, manganese is greater than chromium, IP1. Whereas IP2, if you check, chromium is greater than manganese. So what is the reason? So when you take IP2, chromium is greater than manganese, because this has become 4s0 3d5, manganese become 4s 1 3d5. So that is the reason. And always you remember, in the case of chromium and copper, second IP is very highest, more increases, because chromium is getting 4s0 3d5 configuration, copper is getting 4s0 3d10 configuration. So very important. You can check from the tabular form. So here second IP of chromium 1592, whereas copper will be 1958. Very important. One more important point we have to compare. In the case of third IP if you take manganese and iron, it is there in the tabular form. So manganese will be greater than iron. The reason is iron will be getting 4s0 3d 4s0 3d5, whereas 4s0 3d 1 minute. So iron is getting IP3 means 4s2 3d5, 4s0 3d5, here 4s0 3d5. So what do you mean by this? Actually IP3 means we should remove electron from bivalent cation. So that is the reason. Here already we have off-filled configuration. Here we have 3d6. So that is the reason IP3 of manganese is greater than iron. So this is also very important once you concentrate. And zirconium to hafnium ionization potential, zirconium to hafnium ionization potential increases by 86 kilojoules. Finally, three important points you need to remember. Second IP of copper and chromium more. IP1 of manganese is greater than chromium. IP2 of chromium is greater than manganese. In 3D series, IP2 highest for chromium and copper. IP3 highest for manganese compared with iron. So these are the points you need to remember. So finally, variable oxidation states. Why? Transition element shows variable oxidation states due to involvement of both Ns and N-1 d electrons. Why they involve, sir? The energy difference between two shells is very less. Ns and N-1 d shells, if you take, energy difference is very less. That is the reason successive ionization energies are very less. So therefore they are participating in chemical reactions. So they shows variable oxidation states. Very important. As for the new NCERT, it is clearly given scandium is given only +3. Scandium, yttrium, lanthanum +3. Whereas in 3D series, maximum oxidation state is possible for manganese, 4D series ruthenium, 5D series osmium. 3D series, the element with highest oxidation state, manganese, in KMnO4 +7 oxidation state. Similarly, the highest oxidation state shown by osmium in osmium tetraoxide, Non-metal if you take xenon, xenon tetraoxide. So these are the points you need to concentrate. So next one, let us check as for the NCERT what is given. So scandium is showing only +3 oxidation state. Minimum oxidation state equal to ns electrons, whereas maximum oxidation state equal to ns plus n minus 1d unpaired electrons we have to consider. Unpaired electrons we have to consider. So carefully if you observe, so in 3D series, manganese showing +7 oxidation state, highest oxidation state. Zinc shows +2. So zinc is a D block element, does not show variable oxidation state. And common oxidation state is +2. Here copper, if you observe very clearly, copper is showing +1 and +2 oxidation state. So we'll discuss very clearly. One by one you concentrate. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. Stable in +3, +4, +5, +6, +7 oxidation state. Sir, why sir? This is the reason. What is the reason is? The reason is any element with D0, with D5, with D10 stable. Next one you see carefully. Iron will show +2 and +3 oxidation states, but +3 is stable. What is the reason? D5 configuration. Cobalt, if you take cobalt, +3 is stable due to full-filled T2G orbital. It is explained based on splitting of d orbital. Similarly, nickel, if you take nickel, +2 is stable due to off-filled Eg orbital. So very important, off-filled Eg orbital. So this point you need to focus, off-filled Eg orbital. Copper will show both +1 and +2, both are stable. Zinc, +2 is stable due to full-filled d orbital. And very important, so down the group, chromium, molybdenum, tungsten, if you take tungsten oxide is more stable, and left to right stability is decreasing. Finally, magnetic properties. We have three types of magnetic substances: diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic. So in the case of diamagnetic, external magnetic field strength is more compared with field strength. Diamagnetic nature because of repelled by magnetic field. The reason is they have all paired electrons. Example, Zn+2. Paramagnetic, partially attracted by the magnetic field. Reason is unpaired electrons. Example, I am taking Cu+2. Ferromagnetic. So field strength is very strong compared with external magnetic field. Strongly attracted by magnetic field. Example, iron, cobalt, nickel. Iron, cobalt, nickel. Example for ferromagnetic substances. And compulsory question for the NEET. Every year question they are asking. How to find magnetic moment. Magnetic moment equal to root over n into n+2 Bohr magnetons. What is n, sir? N is nothing but number of unpaired electrons. Unpaired electrons. So I'm giving super trick. Number of unpaired electrons is 0. Magnetic moment is 0. 1, 1.7, 2, 2.8, 3, 3.8, 4, 4.9, 5, 5.8. Like this, we have to remember magnetic moment. Now let us discuss. Here examples given better. This is given in the NCERT. Scandium +3 I am taking. Generally scandium will be 4s2, 3d1. +3 means it is going to be 4s0, 3d0. N equal to 0. Magnetic moment is also 0. Diamagnetic in nature. First example. Second example, one important question is there. Why zinc sulfate diamagnetic, whereas copper sulfate paramagnetic in nature? They will ask like this. Here Zn plus 2 is nothing but 4s0 3d10. Here Cu plus 2 is nothing but 4s0 3d9. We have one unpaired electron. Here we have 0 unpaired electrons. Like this you have to answer the question. So very important. For example, if you take Fe plus 2 is nothing but generally 4s2 3d6. So plus 2 means 4s0 3d6. We have 4 unpaired electrons. So magnetic moment equal to how much we are getting? 4 means we are getting around 4.8. So Fe plus 2. So 4.9 we should get, but observed will be 5.3 to 5.55. Very important. Like this we have to do it. So one question is given in the NCERT, you check once. Calculate magnetic moment of divalent ion in aqueous solution, atomic number 25. Atomic number 25 is nothing but manganese. So manganese atomic number 25 plus 2 he was asking. So electronic configuration 4s2 3d5 plus 2 means 4s0 3d5. 5 means we have unpaired electrons 5. Therefore magnetic moment is going to be 5.9 Bohr magnetons. So like this we have to calculate. So this is about today's class. We'll continue in next class. Please like and subscribe the video.